Hi, welcome to VYAPT Growth Series Season 2, Episode 28. And in our growth series today, we have with us Mr. Sabbir Nasir, the Executive Director at ACI Logistics Limited. Now, ACI Logistics is known for its retail chain Swapno, a top retail brand in Bangladesh. Hi, Sabbir.
Hi,
Welcome to VYAPT Growth Series.
thank you for inviting me.
Sabir, in this series, we have four curiosities, and the first curiosity is around the growth and sustainability of the retail industry in Bangladesh. But before that, can you also talk about Shopno, what it is, and how are you shaping the lives of the people?
Okay, great. Thank you for the question. Shopno, and which is quite similar to Hindi Shapna. Shopno means dream. So ACI Limited actually formed this company back in 2008 when they wanted to integrate the seed with the shell. By that
Mhm.
we mean that ACI Limited has got the largest agricultural integrator company, which is agribusiness, and where we sell the inputs to the farmers. So the idea was, as we are selling inputs to the farmers, and we have a strong consumer division, why we cannot buy back from them and connect with the consumers. And the philosophy was understanding the value chain and trying to find out the unfairness in the value chain and making the value chain equitable for everybody, for farmers, for consumers who matter. So we started, eliminating the intermediaries and connecting the dreams of the farmers with the dreams of the consumers.
Mhm.
So we see that because of unfairness in the value chain, many dreams actually get shattered. So our job is to make the value chain work for the dreams. So we call the homes as dream factories, be it in rural or in urban, and we want to keep that dream factories alive by instilling fairness in the value chain. So thus we are the I would say leading supermarket chain, having more than 300 stores in Bangladesh. We work with the farmers and the consumers, and I would say that for last 6 years we are not just number one supermarket brand in Bangladesh. We are one of the top 10 brands in Bangladesh across all categories.
That's so wonderful. Uh, you talked about that you stand for a purpose, and that's the purpose is instilling fairness in value chain. You
That's right.
believe that a good part of it should go to the people, those who are farmers or the agriculture background people, those are actually serving the entire pyramid.
That's
Can you talk around the kind of strategies, the growth strategies you have in mind as you talk about that the Shopno is one of the leading retail chain in Bangladesh, but I am sure you must be having some aspirations to go global or to extend your footprint within Bangladesh itself.
That's right. So, because right now we are present in 51 districts, so we are covering almost the whole of Bangladesh with our 300 stores. But the idea is to have a shop at every corner. So probably in next 3 years we'll grow like around 3,000 stores across Bangladesh. So everywhere Shopno, and the idea is wherever we have farmers and consumers, Shopno will be there. So
Mhm.
that's very much like an omnipresence idea to be around. But while we develop this brand, we are finding a huge response from across the world because they like the model that we somehow buy from the farmers and we
Mhm.
sell to the consumers, and in this value chain, both gain. So
Mhm.
many stakeholders across the world actually showed interest. Like as you know, that IFC is quite keen to work with us. USAID is working with us in developing
Mhm.
these models, and
Mhm.
in England, in Middle East, in Europe, in even US and Canada, uh, especially Bengali speaking people and Indians in large, they actually want to proceed with this model in the
Mhm.
franchise model. So we are looking out for those opportunities. So beyond expanding across Bangladesh, we are now envisioning to be globally.
Okay. Okay. Can you also talk about what are some of the sustainability measures? Because we are looking at the environment from a global perspective, and I'm
Yeah.
sure the kind of devastations which you're seeing across the globe, it becomes more important for us, we being responsible people who are working for various businesses, to
Mhm.
do our bit to ensure that the climate remains more stable. What are your views around it, and what is that Swapno is doing to ensure that there's a great amount of sustainability within the ecosystem?
Yeah, good question. So actually, Shopno started from its purpose, or I would say mission, and this is how we frame the whole process and strategies and our structure. So
Hmm.
right, like in back in 2017, when there was nothing called Global Gap in this part of the world,
Hmm.
Shopno became the first member of Global Gap from Southeast Asia as a retailer. So we
Hmm.
started adapting those principles. We started educating our farmers on how to make safe agriculture, how to
Hmm.
use the best global practices in agriculture in our fields. So we taught them how to use natural pest control methods, even if they use the artificial pest control, what is PHI, and how we can improve the pesticide residue level in the crops. And then we taught them about sustainability of soil. So broadly, as I was mentioning, that we want to develop a fair value chain, especially agricultural value chain or food value chain. We also want to see it transparent. So
Hmm.
end-to-end transparency is very important for ensuring food safety and also ensuring fairness distributed across, right? So this is one big agenda for shop. We cannot do everything, Pankaj. It's not really possible to address all the sustainability agenda. But back to back, I would say from field to fork, uh, the safety and transparency, this is our prime agenda. Now, circular economy is one of the concepts we are adapting in this year. So
Hmm.
recycling and I would say discouraging of uh, use of bags is in the agenda. So we have certain milestones to be touched in this next financial year, like 2023-24. But we are now preparing the framework so that in circular economy we can create a huge impact in next 3 years. So besides the use of energy, use of water, utility, those are also the, I would say, the next agendas. But the primary agenda is now to establish the sustainability of soil and transparency and food safety across. So that's the agenda one. And also fairness, as I mentioned, fairness for everybody. We also, I forgot to tell you, we're the first retailer in Bangladesh who created quota for differently able, or you can say special people, like some people call autism or autism affected people. We didn't mention that. We said differently able people. So we have 10% quota in our employment for that, and we have people who have special challenges in our workplace. Shopno is the first retailer in Bangladesh who actually included third gender community in its employment. So and the tribal community is also here. So inclusivity is also very important for us. Inclusivity and marginally trapped population, especially farmers. These are also in our agendas.
Sabir, you talked about the inclusion of different segments of the people and for different special needs into the mainstream, helping them to build their own livelihood. And you also talked about the growth aspects of Shopno. When we talk about growth aspect, I'm sure there is a lot of possibility and opportunity. Sure, there would be a lot of challenges as well. What are the innovations which you are referring to as which would cater to the needs of various challenges which would come in your way? And how would you see this chain of retail store, operating differently? And what kind of opportunities? When I say opportunities, I'm talking about employment, be it direct employment or indirect employment, you are going to generate with this kind of model.
Yeah, thank you, Pankaj. So I would say there are three angles, three dimensions where innovation is happening, and mostly led by Shopno because he's the market leader here. and we are kind of shaping the market here. One big part is business model innovation, because we are developing a completely new ecosystem and industry forces which can actually work for the industry's benefit. For example, when we decided to grow fast without having a lot of financing costs, because that's kind of affecting our balance sheet. So we wanted to have partnership with SME investors, and successfully we did it. There were phases of experimentation through which we actually could develop our franchise model, which is very different from any other franchise model. Like in our franchise model, the investor, he invests in lease and equipment, and we run the store. We Shopno run the store because the working capital management is our major competence. So we do that. We ensure the service. We ensure the brand model, and the investors partner with us in the investment, and they get better ROI than whatever they used to get from the bank, or zero fee rate. So as they are motivated to do that, more investors are now coming. Now this franchise model is quite unique, because when we talk about franchise, normally we take franchise fee or some fees and they run the show. In
Mhm.
our case, it's not the case. In our case, we run the show and they invest in our capital equipment, and they're very, very satisfied. Now we are actually going for the second level of innovation, where these investors can have even small investors supported by them. So that's coming here. In the process innovation, we did a lot of data mining and use of BI and data science. So we can actually automate some of the processes. We can make the processes more efficient and customer centric. I would say that's the second angle of innovation, process innovation. I can see AI coming very soon in this dimension here, as we are now still in the phase where we are adapting the data science model and use of technology and coding to automate the process and make it efficient. Third angle could be the social innovation. As I mentioned, that inclusivity, environmental stewardship, those are agendas, but you have to create a model around which the farmers, stakeholders, and business community can work together. So we are doing a lot of innovation in the field, so that like for example, when I we are buying the crops from the farmers, adapting global gap practices, there is a cost associated. Now, who is going to pay for that? Consumers or farmers or us? So those models we had to develop. So these are three major dimensions besides the product innovation, like the private label brands, or any products which caters to the needs of different niches. So these are fundamental, and I would say the e-commerce or omni-channel is also evolving in this process. So I would say largely this three dimension into 4 5 perspective. Uh, so technological innovation, business model innovation, process innovation, and product innovation and social innovation. So these are the areas where innovation is happening here.
Okay, okay. So you talked about that the kind of innovations this retail chain is going to have, and you talked about your business model. I would call it an inverted franchise model,
Yes.
wherein franchise was people were operating, and now you are operating on your core competencies while people are actually putting money into your stores.
That's
uh, Having said that, I'm sure it would also generate a lot of employment, which you talked about, both direct and indirect. What kind of impact are you seeing, and are you also looking to go global around it, in terms of expanding your stores? Because in my last question, you talked about that you are getting some very good responses from investors, and you're getting some very good responses from people as well.
Yes, yes. We are getting a sponsor from group of investors from different parts of the world, as I mentioned. Like from UK, we are seeing a lot of interest. We actually opened one franchise back in 2014 or 15, but we did not continue because there was not really proper matching between our mindset and their mindset.
Mhm.
So, but still, we are looking out for partners who can value Shopno values and carry those, because values are very important. I mean, you can make business through different means, but whatever your belief system is, if you don't match, it really clashes, because we believe in conscious capitalism, and in conscious capitalism, your partner's philosophy matters. Yes, I mean, global presence is definitely something which is coming. In terms of impact, the SMEs, the farmers, suppliers, if you include all together, I would say is huge already. But with our 3,000 to 4,000 stores, which is coming in this next 3 years' time, I would say probably 100,000 people will be definitely affected through our activities.
Wonderful, wonderful. That's a sizable number.
Yes.
Uh, Now we would like to probably proceed forward with our rapid fire questions. So
Okay.
we'll have we'll have 10 questions. Each can be answered in one word or maximum of a sentence. Are you ready,
Okay.
sir?
Yes. Yes, sir.
So here we go. Uh, so here we go. 10 questions to you. Now we'll start with the first one. Your favorite day of the week.
Friday for contemplation meditation.
Okay. So if you could travel back in time, what period would you go to?
To my engineering days, I would choose computer science instead of mechanical engineering.
So you have an agenda while going back in time, huh?
Yeah. Yes.
Now, if your life was a story, what would it be titled?
A transformation journey from overhauling to excelling. It's excellence. Yeah, something like that.
What's your favorite comfort food?
Indian vegetarian.
Vegetarian. What advice would you give to your younger self? You to your younger self.
Okay, be where you should be. Don't compromise.
Okay. What was the last thing you watched on TV?
FIFA World Cup final.
Favorite all-time author?
Many Rumi, Shams, George Soros. Um, yeah, many. Kafka,
Your favorite
William.
hobby?
Sorry, yeah,
Your
Blake.
favorite hobby?
I'm a musician. I don't know if that's a hobby, but yes, I love music and also traveling in the Himalayan belt. Personally that I enjoy that most.
Okay, so you love music and traveling in Himalayan belt. Now the second last one is luck or hard work. What would you choose?
I choose hard work.
Your favorite destination?
Many. Rishikesh definitely is one. Uh, I love Paris. I love Milan. I love MIT campus where I used to be.
Fair enough. So 10 on 10 to you. Some smart answers. Well, I would have preferred luck over hard work.
You're an entrepreneur, and I'm a professional CEO. So we do hard work, and you choose luck.
I'm sure even luck doesn't come without hard work. So 10 on 10 to you. Wonderful answers from your side. We'll go on to the last curiosity which we have
Okay.
about you as a leader. I'm sure as we speak, many people watch you the ability to do things and to create, because now the world is all about creation. How you are creating different means to give opportunities for different people, marginalized people, and also to grow the global economy to the next level so that it can help humanity across the world to grow further, because we
Yeah,
believe that growth is the solution for various problems the world is facing today.
absolutely.
Having said that, can you talk about you as a leader, what kind of value stream do you have in mind, or what is that which are your mentors or people whom you have met in your industry has influenced you, and what kind of leadership skills or traits do you show while in your working arena?
Well, very good question, Pankaj. I would say philosophically, I don't believe in zero sum game. That somebody wins and somebody loses. I don't believe in that. I believe in true collaboration. We all can gain, and the opportunity is abundant. So abundance is something which I believe in, and we can design life. We can solve problems. We can make it better through our focus in right areas and through prioritization of right things. So I believe that there are many unfairness or limitations in our thought process, and human brain could have been more evolved and could have been shown more application of what we already felt in our heart. For example, the way I said that we believe the value chain is not fair, it can be translated into many emotions where you see a village boy is not really getting right access to education or healthcare for his mother. And probably that's not something she should see in his life. So we could make this world much fairer if we could commit together. So this is a time when we already saw COVID taking away lives. Even some of us, we could die. Even I could die. I was in ICU. I think this is a time where we should look at things, look at economy, look at our world from a different lens, where we should prioritize peace over war, growth, as you mentioned, growth over decline, innovation over stagnation, unity over division. So many years, so many decades, we actually fought with each other, fighting over stupid, silly arguments. This is the time when we should reconcile and we should work together to make the world better. So Swapno model where we try to connect farmers with consumers is definitely replicable across the world, because this is not a problem for Bangladesh. This is not a problem from developing economy. This is a core problem of capitalism. And that's why I mentioned conscious capitalism. I'm not talking about socialism here, but I'm talking about a capitalism which is conscious, which is inclusive, which takes care of future, and which knows what the Gen Z and millennials are thinking now. And I know they know what we are talking about. This is a time to actually pass on the baton with the right mindset and right philosophy. That's how I see.
Wonderful, Saveer. You talked about the mind, your mind, and how you would like to probably see the growth aspects coming across the world, which is actually serving the humanity. Thank you so much, Saveer. I think your interaction has been really great with us, wherein you talked uh, really some awesome growth prospects coming in for Swapno and the kind of opportunities it is generating, and also your mindset about the world. Thank you so much, Sabbir, for being a part of VYAPT Growth Series.
Thank you, Pankaj. Thank you, VYAPT Growth Series, for inviting me. And thanks for allowing me to represent Swapno in a global platform. Thank you so much. Namaste.
Thank you. Thank you so much.